Majority of gym goers I see going to the gym are stuck between 18 and 25%, and they are skinny fat. This is one of the worst places to be as a guy because you've been going to the gym, you've been trying to build muscle, but it's all covered by a layer of fat, especially in your midsection and chest. You don't know what to do. You're stuck in between two phases. If you were just overweight, you know exactly what you need to do. You just need to go on a diet, lose the fat, and then build muscle afterwards. And if you were just skinny, you know you just need to bulk, but you are stuck in between and you have no idea what decision to make. And this is one of the toughest things to do and solve, especially when you first start going to the gym. And I know exactly what it's like to be skinny fat. When I first started working out, I was skinny fat. I was 6 foot, 135 pounds. I still had fat in my midsection. My hips held a ton of fat, especially my lower back as well. And my arms were really skinny because I made one massive mistake. When I first started working out, I immediately went on a super strict diet. I was basically just eating chicken breast and eggs, barely any carbohydrates. And did I lose fat? Yes, but I still had it in all the wrong places. All the places that make us feel self-conscious and not actually proud of our body. So the first step that you're going to do to make sure you fix being skinny fat is increasing your calories. Majority of people I see that are skinny fat, regardless of if they already have a good amount of muscle or none at all, is they go on too little calories. Because modern fitness knowledge tells you if you have excess fat, first thing you need to do is go into a calorie deficit. But people take this to the extreme. The first week they see they lose a couple pounds and they say, if I increase this calorie deficit, I'm going to lose more fat quicker and I'm going to reach my goal. But what ends up happening is your inflammation increases, your cortisol spikes, and you end up storing fat in all the wrong places. As I said before in the intro to this video, you store it in your midsection and your chest, and this gives you that puffy, soft look. Even though you might have built a little bit of muscle in your arms, your upper back, you hold it all in that lower midsection, lower back, and it completely throws off your proportions and stops you from ever being able to achieve that aesthetic, high-status physique. One of the biggest problems about having your calories as low as most people do, and I'm talking the majority of guys I speak to, they're eating 1,700, 1,400 calories every single day. So they do this 5 days of the week, and then on the weekends they end up binge eating because they feel like they're being super disciplined. They feel like they're making great progress. But the problem is when you are eating that little food, your body and your cravings are through the roof and your body is shutting down. And when you start eating, you say, fuck it, I've already messed up. Why not just go all in? Or guys are staying consistent around 1,800 calories, but their body is not getting enough fuel. Their muscles are weak. They're flat. They feel like they're withering away. And I ask a lot of these guys I speak to, how do you feel on a daily basis? And they say, yeah, I feel pretty good. But 2-3 weeks into increasing their calories, giving themselves a little bit more carbohydrates, more energy when they train, their strength goes up drastically. They start going, I didn't realize how bad I actually felt on a daily basis. The problem is, you don't realize what your body is capable of. You don't realize how good your mood could be. You don't realize how confident you could be on a daily basis. You don't realize how good working out is. You're still stuck in the position where you're underfeeding your body, your energy's in the gutter, and you're just thugging it out every single day. When in reality, you could be eating more food, feeling better, better sex drive, more vigor to attack the day, and way better workouts and more progress. So, if you are currently on super low calories, what I want you to do is slowly increase them. Don't just immediately jump them up to your maintenance, which you can calculate by taking your current body weight and times it by 14 to 16. What I recommend doing is slowly increasing your calories, 150, 200 in every single week. Do this until you reach roughly your maintenance calories. See how your body responds by tracking your weight every single day. The second thing you absolutely must do if you're trying to fix being skinny fat is train harder. The amount of guys I see who go to the gym consistently but don't actually push themselves. They go to the gym and they go through the motions. They do the weights they feel comfortable with. You need to go to the gym with the intention to put yourself in uncomfortable situations. If you typically do 40 pounds on incline dumbbell press, the next week, push yourself and go for 50s, even if you fall short of your rep range. Your intended target, let's say it's 8 to 12 and you get 6. Okay, now your body feels more used to heavier weight. So the next time you go do 50s, you're going to be able to get 7, get 8, but you have to have the internal desire to want to push yourself. You need to go in there and chase down progress. It is not going to fall in your lap. It's not magically going to happen. If you keep going to the gym doing the exact same thing, how can you expect to get different results? This is the number one thing I see guys mess up on. They go to the gym, they say they train hard, but in reality, they don't have a routine. They don't have anything set in stone. They don't have a diet they consistently stick to. But in reality, they just don't push themselves in any metric of life. And the truth is, if you push yourself in the gym and you know what it feels like to have that internal desire, you will push yourself in other areas of life. But step one is imperative. You need to give your body enough fuel. How could you possibly imagine yourself as a car, right? Imagine you are constantly on low gas all the time. How do you think the car is going to operate long term? It's going to start breaking down. More problems are going to start occurring. Listen, I'm not a mechanic, but I know that's fucking terrible for your car. So you're doing the exact same thing with your body. You need to be giving your body premium gas. You need to be giving yourself whole foods, nutrient-dense foods, and enough calories. And listen, if you know you're in a position and you're hearing this video and you're saying to yourself, fuck, I know he's talking to me. I am not training hard enough. I am not pushing myself. I'm going through the motions. I'm scrolling on the internet. I'm switching my routine constantly. Follow me on Instagram at Brasai. DM me the word routine. I will send you a full blueprint on how to build an aesthetic physique in the next 6 months, like I've done for many of my clients, over 100. And you will never need another workout routine again. You can literally follow this exact routine and keep progressing week in, week out, month over month, year over year. The third thing you need to do when you're trying to fix being skinny fat, and this is one of the most important things, and this is psychological. You need to accept that you are not going to lose fat as fast as you want, especially if you're rebuilding your metabolism. Once you start increasing your calories, you are going to notice your muscles are going to push against the skin more. You are going to look leaner, but the scale is going to stay the exact same for a while. It may go down a pound or two. You may see a slight drop, but you are not going to see 1 to 2 pounds drop in the first 4 to 8 weeks. You have to look at that time as creating runway, allowing your body to have enough room to actually lose fat in the future. You have to set up the fat loss phase. You can't just jump into it magically with barely any muscle, a destroyed metabolism, because if you're eating 1,700 calories, are you really going to eat 1,200 calories a day? I, as a coach, could give you that. I could say, hey, go do 1,200 calories a day, do an hour of cardio, and just force you to be disciplined. But in reality, as soon as you get off that, you're gaining 10 pounds right back. Nothing will change. You'll be in the exact same position. You will waste months. So you have to put aside your desire to lose fat and look at this as a period of, number one, setting up the fat loss phase, making sure you actually have the ability, your body is healthy enough to lose fat, it's less inflamed, your cortisol is lower, and you have some muscle mass, and you have the room inside your calories to actually drop them. Number two, you need to detach yourself from the scale weight. This is absolutely imperative. People think the scale tells the entire picture, that if the scale is not going down every single week, then they are not losing fat. There is so many different factors that play into your progress, and especially the scale going down. Especially if you're increasing calories, you rebuilt your metabolism, you built a little bit more muscle, your weight could be the exact same 8 weeks later, but you could look like a different human. So you need to take progress pictures. You need to compare them every single month or even on a weekly basis. You need to track your vital metrics. You need to track your sleep, your digestion, your hunger, how much energy you have, how confident you feel, how the pump feels in the gym, how tight your muscles feel. You need to track these things and make notes of it, because it'll make it a lot clearer if you're actually making progress or not. But if you just follow the scale, you're going to have no idea. And it is going to be masked by so many things. Inflammation, more glycogen in the muscle. You could have built muscle. There's so many different things that can mask your fat loss if you only look at the scale. And guys, fixing skinny fat is actually a very simple process. And honestly, it's one of the best places to be in, because you basically get to eat at maintenance calories, increase your food while losing fat and building muscle. Then after you've done this period, which is probably going to last 4 to 12 weeks, depending on where you're at, you've built up the metabolism, your body is responsive, then you can go into a dieting phase and really tighten up. But you need to spend time close to your calorie maintenance, either in a slight deficit or slight surplus. I'm talking 100 calories, building muscle, and setting your body up for success long term. And if you guys want someone to help you through this process, expedite the process, make sure that you're not spinning your wheels like majority of guys going to the gym and looking the exact same for the next 2-3 years, then Follow me on Instagram at BrussI, DM me the word elite, and we can talk about where you're currently at, where you're trying to get to, and how we can get you to your goals together.